Hey everyone, welcome back to Bird Talk with Terrence Mathis. I'm William Brandon. Please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel Atlanta Sports Unlimited and turn on those notifications so you don't miss an episode. This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks, the simplest fantasy sports game on the market. You can pick from players from multiple sports, NBA or the NFL. And get this, use the code ASU and Prize Picks will 100% match your first offer up to $100. Download the app for free at the Google Play Store or the App Store. All right, Terrence, before we get to the past week's playoffs game, I wanted to ask you the question that everyone has been talking about since the game ended on Sunday night. Does the NFL need to change the overtime rule?
Yes. Yes. I'm glad you asked me that. I'm here in California, in LA right now, coaching an all-star game in the NFLPA Collegiate Bowl. And some of us that are former players whatsoever, we talked about the ending of that game. And here it is. We feel that here's the right solution to that. You just play an extra 10-minute quarter, and whatever happens after that, you play another extra 10-minute quarter until the game ends, especially in the playoffs. So now, even if you score first, the other team gets the ball. So you just keep going until time runs out in that 10-minute period. And I think that's the best solution for the overtime period for the NFL.
Yeah, I agree. I think they should definitely change it and something like that where everybody, you just get however many chances. It's not
Right.
necessarily a sudden death or a
Right.
sudden death touchdown.
Right. It takes all the pressure off of you because now you can say, well, if I don't get it on, third and 8 whatsoever, I can punt it, and not worry about if when I punt it, if they drive down or score a field goal or touchdown, that I won't touch the ball again. So it makes it creates a different strategy for one, and it gives each team an opportunity to have an opportunity to win a football game.
And in case you at home were under a rock, the game that we were mainly referring to is the Buffalo Bills and Kansas City Chiefs game from Sunday Night Football that was back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then it came down to overtime. And I think everybody knew watching the game and watch from home knew whoever got that coin toss was going to
Yes.
win that game. And that's
Right.
essentially what happened with Kansas City.
Right.
What did you think about that game overall?
Well, you know, one of the best games ever. One of the best games ever that I've seen.
Yeah.
I've probably played in the best game ever, which was the NFC Championship game
Championship.
in '99. But here it is that here's two great quarterbacks. I'm gonna say great because they are two really good football team, two really good coaching staffs that had the answers. They had the answers, and we always talking about making adjustments in games. These two coaches made adjustments in game and game time situations, series by series, to give their team an opportunity to win football games. Now here it is. It's 13 seconds to go. Buffalo goes up. Buffalo sideline is celebrating whatsoever, and I told my wife, I said, this game is over.
Mhm.
2 plays later, I'm going. I'm like, oh my God. Now, first of all, you don't kick that ball in the end zone
Yeah.
and leave 13 seconds. You squib that ball, you know, best case scenario, you squib it, they get it and they down the ball. But as soon as the player touches it, you lose 3-4 seconds right there. Okay. Now it's hard to win a game. First of all, I thought it was impossible to win a game with 13 or even tie a game up with 13 seconds to go. But with 10 seconds to go, it's almost nearly impossible. But I'm not going to say that, especially when you have Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid and that crew.
Yeah, that was something else. It was the best game I think that I've seen in a long time. Like you said, with 13 seconds, and last week we weren't on, but last week is when Dallas had 14 seconds at the end and
Right.
couldn't get the ball clocked in time. And then you
Mm-hmm.
see
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
Chiefs execute so
Mm-hmm.
well in such a small
Mm-hmm.
amount of time.
Yeah. Well, the difference was is that the Chiefs had timeouts
Timeouts, yeah.
and the Cowboys did not. And the Cowboys situation, it was blame across the board in that situation. And there was a lot of epic fails on, on that drive. But and I don't want to go into it because it was weeks ago. We just want to talk about the two games that were played this past weekend, and then another game went down to the wire, the Green Bay Packers and the San Francisco 49ers. We've probably seen the last of Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay.
You think so?
I truly think so. I think honestly, he wants a fresh start, wants to do something different, and finish his career somewhere else.
Yeah, the great game as well. Another one, and I want to talk about those other two as well. So we had 4 games over the weekend, and all of them were real close football games, all within field goal. Yeah, the San Francisco 49ers, I didn't expect them to win that going in. I know they have a great defense. I thought that Green Bay would play better. One thing I want to ask you about is what about Aaron Rodgers not taking chances? It seems like he's not taking enough deep ball chances. It was more like he'd just rather take a step back I mean, there's no other game to play. So I don't get
Well,
that
well,
rationale.
well, here's the thing. Who's he gonna throw it to?
Mm-hmm.
Devontae Evans, Adams are getting double team.
Mm-hmm.
There's nobody else on the field, and that's been their issue, and that's been his issue with the franchise over the last couple of years. Okay, we got Devontae Adams, we got 2 good running backs, and then who else? We got just players. We don't have anybody else that's dynamic enough that when Adams get double teamed, that this person steps up and becomes a superstar. And that's what his whole biggest argument with the organization has been over the last couple of years. So, he took what they gave him. And that's what you have to do. And hopefully they would have made a mistake and they can go over top. But that defense, they didn't make a mistake at all. And they kept putting pressure on them, and back end kept covering, and they played a good game. But Green Bay had a chance to win that football game.
Yeah, they did.
You can't put that on Aaron Rodgers or the
Mm-hmm.
offense or whatever. You have to get that punt off. You have to block up front so the punt will not get blocked. And you've seen the game change as soon as that happened, because now you punt the ball, all you do is play defense and get the ball back and run the clock out. That was the strategy right there, and it just backfired on them when the punt got blocked.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if I would have told you before the game that San Francisco would not have an offensive touchdown, would you think they would have won the game? But
I would say absolutely not. They would. Yeah, I would take those odds any day. I was like, what? I'm putting money. Oh, they're gonna score a touchdown offensively. They did not. I was surprised, and it's funny because I'm here, like I told you, I'm here in LA, and I ran into John Lynch, the GM for the 49ers, Hall of Famer, former Tampa Bay Buccaneer, and we sat and talked. We talked a little bit because we played against each other quite a bit, and we talked about it. He says, our defense is playing well. He says, our offense haven't been playing so well. Hopefully, it all comes together this coming weekend. But he understands that if that offense, the defense is winning games for them in the playoffs right now.
did you happen to ask him Jimmy G's future?
No, I didn't want to do that. There was too many people around, so I didn't want to put him on the spot.
Yeah. The special teams was definitely the issue on that game. Let me ask you. So they had the block punt, they had that block field goal. How on the last play of the game you only have 10 players? How does that happen?
You know what? Somebody's not paying attention on the sidelines. I mean, that's what it comes down to. Someone is not paying attention on the sidelines. Somebody came off the field without being taken off the field, and then someone didn't go on the field who's supposed to be on the field. That, in that situation with a team, with a playoff caliber team, the Green Bay Packers and the coaching staff that they have, that should never happen. That should never happen. But it happens. And, I say it should never happen, but as you see, it does happen.
Yeah, in such a crunch time position. Saturday, the first game of the day was the Bengals and Titans. You and I talked about that one. The Bengals did win 19-16 over the number 1 seed Titans.
That surprised me. I thought I just don't understand sometimes the mindset and the thought process of coaches, and I don't want to beat people down and to blame them because I haven't been put in that situation at that level and I don't know.
Yeah.
But at some point, you know, the one interception when they was trying to throw the screen, going in, I'm talking about the Titans,
Yeah.
they were running the ball well right there. Keep running the football. I didn't understand that. And then they get the ball again and having a chance, to move it down whatsoever, run the football. And then, you call an offensive play and you have Tannehill read a side where it's not Julio Jones or their other big play wide receiver. You throw to a guy that's not usually on the field and he gets covered. Come on, man. It behooves me how you would think that way. Why are you not throwing it to your big play guys?
Yeah.
And why you and I just in
Yeah.
that situation you go to who got you there.
Yeah. One of the plays, Tannehill rolled out and Julio went out into the flat. It looked like it was a design play for Julio, but Tannehill, for the life of me, is like looking around.
Yeah.
And it stares him down. I'm like, does he not know who he is? Like, throw it. That's
Throw
Julio.
it to
Throw it to him.
You know what?
I don't
It
know if
was
they didn't
it
have
was
enough.
funny because uh, Tannehill, he looked confused
Yes.
the whole day. Every time they showed him on the sideline, he just looked confused.
Hmm.
And I don't, that's one of those things. I know you were prepared properly. I know you prepared properly.
Yeah.
And for you to make the mistakes that you made being a veteran quarterback, being in the playoffs a number of times, it was just one of those things that you know you have to address during the offseason and going back into mini camps, OTAs, whatsoever. So you got to find a way to talk things through it where your quarterback and your offensive coordinator is going to make better decisions.
The early game on Sunday was the Rams in Tampa. Rams did win
Ooh.
30-27. They jumped out on Tampa, had a 27-3 lead, and we all know that 28-3. But I was like, I don't know. Let's see if they can do it. And sure enough, everything falls in line for them to come back. And sure enough, they tied the game. They
Right.
eventually lost the game. What it looked like
Right.
maybe an all-out blitz, zero coverage, and Cooper Kupp was wide open, so that put him in field goal range. What did you see out? What did you see go wrong on that last play that
Well,
they tied the game up?
What was it, 3rd and 8 or something like that? It could
Mhm.
have been 3rd and 10, something like that. And you send a blitz at that moment, and the safety's looking in the backfield because he thinks the blitz is going to get there, and Cooper Kupp is going to run a what we call a hot route, which is a short route.
Mhm.
So the safety sat down, and Cooper Kupp kept going, and that the blitz didn't get there, and Stafford just lays it up and he runs up under it. Just, I mean, was it a good call at the time? It would have been a great call if the blitz would have got there.
Yeah.
But now we're questioning the call because the blitz didn't get there, and they scored a touchdown. So you you got to take chances at times. You got to play with your gut and what you're feeling, and that's what Todd Bowles did at that time, the defense coordinator for the 49ers, and they got caught. And there goes the game.
The Rams have had, they've got a high-powered offense. They got a couple of the best defensive players in the league, but they continue to give up points late in the game. Should that be
Yeah.
a cause of concern when they play against the Niners this week, who they had not beaten in the last 6 games?
Well, the way I would say where the Rams finished the game
Mhm.
gave them confidence offensively.
Mhm.
I think they have realized that Cooper Kupp he's going to get his touches, but they have Jefferson and they have Beckham that they can do some great things with. So I think that you should feel comfortable that he has other, Stafford has other options offensively to make the offense go. Here's the thing: is when you get up in games, you can't play clock, which means we're gonna bleed this clock, so the other team can have less possessions. You can't
Yeah.
do that. You keep playing football. and try to put more points on the board, because those guys across from you are NFL players and they're getting paid a lot of money also. And that coach is over there getting paid a lot of money also. So, they're not going to quit and give up because you get up by 2 or 3 touchdowns. So you got to keep playing football.
Do you think this might be the last time that we see Tom Brady?
I think so. He's saying all the things about being with family, wife needs him, kids need him, what's important to him right now. I think, he did. Here it is. He did what he set out to accomplish when he left the Patriots, is to win another Super Bowl somewhere else.
Yeah.
To have another fan base that loves him somewhere else. He's accomplished that. And he put up big numbers in these last 2 years. And of course, he's going to be in discussions about being the MVP of the league. So what else is there for him to do? That look, you have, I think, 7 of the main nucleus of your team is going to be free agents. You're not going to be able to sign them all back. So here's a chance that, maybe it's time now for him to walk away right away in the sunset.
Okay. And speaking of retirees, Sean Payton retired apparently.
Oh my goodness. Oh, you know what? That was shocking to me. That was really shocking to me that he would walk away. But then the more and more you read, the more and more you investigate this thing, they're gonna be almost 80. They're gonna be almost $80 million over salary cap and don't have a quarterback, don't have a number 1 receiver. Oh my goodness. I don't know what they're gonna do. So, it's almost gonna be a rebuild for the Saints. And conspiracy theory, the relationship that he has with Jerry Jones is
Dallas.
That in the next 2 or 3 weeks, maybe a month from now, he's gonna unretire and become the new head coach of the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, that's why I gave those.
Those are rumors, and I'm not saying that I know this. Those are just things that people have said. But he may be done. He may be done with football. He may be burnt out and tired. But I would sure listen if Jerry Jones called me with all the weapons that there is in that Dallas Cowboys locker room, and where there is a defense that's playing outstanding. I would have to listen.
Yeah, me personally, I think I feel like he's going to sit out this year, see how Mike McCarthy does this upcoming year with the Cowboys, and I do feel like he will end up being Dallas's head coach.
Right.
Maybe not this year, but I see him coming back out for when that job's available. And like I said, with him retiring, Brady possibly retiring, here we go again. The Falcons should be
stop it. I know where you're going with that. Stop it. Listen. The doors, you're gonna say the doors open for the Atlanta Falcons to win the NFC South. The Atlanta Falcons have a long way to go to fix their roster and their situations and what they're trying to be as an organization on the field. So they still have a long ways to go. Are they going to draft properly? Are they going to get the proper free agents? All those things. I see some craziest stuff around there. If the numbers were right, would you get Devontae Adams, and would you get Aaron Rodgers? We're not going to get either one of those. So let's just stop talking about it. I'm going to do it the way my mama and my grandmama say it. It ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. So let's stop getting excited about that, because now you get fans riled up and thinking that this can happen, and when it doesn't happen, we blame front office by not making a wish come true. So let's just get off of that. That's not gonna happen.
If you want to, tell me your predictions. Who you got for this week's game? 49ers versus Rams, and then the Chiefs and Cincinnati.
I think the new trend that's been what just started last year was with Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay playing in their home stadium at the Super Bowl. Here we go again. Here we go. The Rams playing at home. I'm gonna take the Rams. I'm gonna take the Rams and Kansas City in this one.
All right. Yeah, for my own personal reasons, I'm gonna go for the Rams, and I like Kansas City as well. up in the Super Bowl.
Right.
So what you got for us this week?
Hey man, I've been on the road for about 4 days now. I won't get home for a while, so I've been away from home. Um, it would be in a total about 8 or 9 days, and the thing is that um, when you have love in your home, when you have God in your home, and you know what's in your home, there's a godly presence and a godly spirit, you know, and when you think there's something better out there, that you think you need to travel and be free from all that, uh, God always brings you home. Your home where your safety is, and your comfort level is, and where your love is. And that's the same way with your relationship with God. Sometimes you think that, okay, I can do this and have this and do this and do that. But you need to go back to your first love, and the one that first loved you. And that's God. And that's Jesus Christ himself. And that's home. And that's where you can find love, comfort, and the feeling of peace. So, at the end of the day, bless your homes with the spirit of God. And then whenever you leave, you can always come back and have peace. And that's the same thing with the relationship you should have with God.
All right. Well, thank you, T.
Yeah, man.
I hope that while you're out there, that you rub off on these young men out here trying to make it to the next level.
Yeah, there's some great players, man, and some good kids too. There's some really good kids. I'm having a great time. I am truly, truly having a great time. And I'm so happy that I have an opportunity to do this.
I'm glad you have as well, and I'm glad you're out there. Everybody, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel Atlanta Sports Unlimited and turn on those notifications. Y'all have a great day.